There are so many demands on you. Demands at home, in the boardroom, and in the bedroom. You have to be jack of all trades, wearing a different hat when the moment arises. You're on all the time, always on the clock, always catching up. Take care of you. Introducing Your Media, your podcast network that meets you where you are, when you need it, at your time, in your space, when you feel like it. You come first. Your Media, where you are. The show goes on with Noni, brings the business of the arts to center stage.
Hello, and welcome back. My name is Noni and you are tuned in to Your Media, hashtag where you are. Welcome to The Show Goes On with Noni. Noni, spear of the nation, if you know where that comes from. And as you know, I don't go alone on this. I am here with my girl, Kanjani Tumpazana.
Hello, Dali.
Hey, Dalo guy.
Yazini ngabuzwile. Yabazantu basemakhaya ngabuzwile.
Uzweni, ngaba ngizweni.
Right. Sanibonani. Sanibonani nina la ngihleli nabo. Sanibonani.
Yebo sawubona siyakubona nathi.
Hello. This is Palesa Robin. Welcome to The Show Goes On with Noni. Right here on Your Media, hashtag where you are. Today, you're excited if young.
Lenake excited. Nka girl that's just on top of the thing.
I understand.
Like guys, our guest today. Our guest today is wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And yet so young, so fresh, but she's done so many things.
So beautiful.
I don't know if I nearly went blind or if I nearly passed out from reading her bio. It was like hectic. I was like, how?
You're like, okay, iyaphela manje. You're like, there's more.
Still going. Yeah, no, I was still scrolling. I was like, yo. So anyway, without further ado, guys, peoples, we've got Khayalethu Ndlovu in the his house.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, stunning. It's such a pleasure to have you in studio.
Such a divine pleasure.
As you can see, guys, hear it as well. The personality is just crisp. I love it. So how's your day? How's your day? Like,
Day has been well. Yeah. Today's Tuesday, right?
Wednesday.
Hello, ladies. You are my crushes today. How are you? So my day has been well. I'm glad that I'm with crushes.
Stunning.
But it's been busy. It's been hectic.
Right. Okay.
Very physical. And also mentally challenging in terms of playing two different roles constantly.
Okay.
So it was, but at the end of the day, it was fruitful.
All right.
Fruitful. Yeah.
So we were grateful for this day. Yeah. Grateful for this day. Guys, let me tell you now, Khayalethu Ndlovu. Let's do this again. When I let
Gwamele, they must know.
People must know.
They must know.
You know,
we are working with giants.
And it's not just giants on TV. Giants don't just appear on TV, guys. Hey, there's giants everywhere in this industry.
There's something like people who are doing great things
in
the entertainment industry are always seen on TV.
Yes, exactly.
There are people
who are doing other things on the stages of this country and
the world.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Khayalethu Ndlovu is a South African-born performer and artist. She began her training at the tender age of 3 years. 3 years old, ne? Tender age, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get back to that. Okay, tender age of 3, with Pat Jones completing all vocational and major exams through the Royal Academy of Dance. Kaya furthered her training at the National School of Arts with a focus on her ballet, contemporary, jazz, and African dance studies. Whilst in school, she attended Mzansi Ballet Theatre, formerly known as the South African Ballet Theatre School, and participated in productions by the company. Yes, Mughal. We could go on. It's a whole long list, but as we chat and as we get going with conversation, we're going to touch up on all your successes and all your achievements, on like you traveling the world, doing what you love. Yes, but that's what life is about, right?
Yes.
Life is about just doing what you love and getting to explore the world doing what you love. Kaya,
Yeah, boy.
3 years old.
Oh.
How did you know? Because I feel like I hummed, and people heard me, but it must be something to be 3 and dancing and people looking at you and going, wait a minute.
I was eating mud.
Honey, I think I also was eating mud too, but I was doing it with choreography.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how did you know? Like, was your family, were they that focused? Were they that attentive to you? Were you vocal about it? How? Tell us.
I think I have layers to it. And I
Yeah.
like the number 3 because it shows like a good trajectory.
Okay.
Someone climbing up the ladder.
Yeah.
And my mom would say her belly would move a lot. My mom is a very active woman, so I think I got the vibrations from her. But I got the whole steadfast like mindset from my father.
Okay.
So by the age of 3, I was a girl that loved sweets. So when I used to see kids coming back at nursery school with 3 jelly tots, I was
Yeah.
like, and like, there's opportunity here.
Yeah.
I looked at things that I liked and I saw it as a great opportunity. If I didn't have it, how do I get it?
Yeah.
So I think for me, at the age of 3, to already know there's something I want. How do I get it? It's
Yes.
very rare to find. And I utilize and bend my parents' arms, showed them, yo, guys, I see a future here. Let's do it. And they introduced me to Pat Jones, who guided me
Okay.
at 3. And at that time, I was a cute little, jup jup, those sweets with the
Yeah.
sugar around. I looked so cute, But what I bought in that place was just more personality. And don't forget, I wasn't someone that has a miracle story where, oh, I knew how to dance. No, I liked things. And by liking things, it introduced me to the art form of dance.
Oh, okay.
But I started off with painting, drama, I did singing, and then I finalized in dance.
All right. So you were just an artistic child all the way. That is amazing. And for you to be for you to say that you were the one who vocalized that talent in you, to say, listen, look me, mom, dad,
Yes.
look at me, I can do this, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And for them to just have taken like the initiative to be like, okay, we're gonna go here. Is that a bit like, did they know him before? Are your parents also in the arts, or are your
My
parents
parents,
talented?
no, my parents are strictly politics, business, service, good citizens,
Okay, yeah.
However, my mom was raised with a doctor and a designer. My father was raised with a mom that was just home
Okay.
and a father that wasn't present,
Yeah.
So my parents were more for our kids to be in the marketing, those kind of traditional
money.
make
Okay, make money.
because they've worked for us,
Yes.
But I think my parents say they were stubborn, so I was very like why. I was known as the why child.
Okay.
So Kaya, what? Don't go.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Come on, stop eating.
Because
Why?
I'm more triggered by curiosity.
Okay.
That's the beauty about artists. You're triggered by curiosity. So
Alright.
if you're going to give me options to question, nope, I must go.
But you said something that your mom felt you
Yeah.
in her tummy
Yeah, bo.
while you were there. So she knew, your mom was attentive to know that this child there's something.
Yeah, she calls me AKA Esther. So
Tell us about that.
no, my parents are also pastors. So and I love how they are because I find where they take spirituality is more in the realistic terms.
Okay.
They have been strictly raised in churches, but they've seen they have birthed expressive children.
Okay.
So they've allowed us to express ourselves as
Nice.
much as we can. But when she named me Esther, she was just saying, because you are 4 people, 4 kids, and you find ways to use your strength to duplicate it and benefit the others, that is the spirit of Esther.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. That was so well said. I was like, I nearly no, like for real. Like also my hormones are on fleek.
So we just leveling
it. You just coming in here. I'm like, I wanna be like, oh my god, Kaya Ndlovu.
Yeah.
Why the the move what?
The
What?
movement.
The movement architect. Like you go by that.
Yes.
It's Khayalethu Ndlovu, the movement of architect. Tell us.
So that came about in my journey in terms of branding and stepping out from the comfort zone.
Okay.
And I started off with a brand called KLM Productions. And then it transitions to Khayalethu Movement because I saw that if I do a brand that is detached from who I am, I can't really speak my truth.
Yeah.
And then I fall in the habit of hype and then I lose who I am, right? So Khayalethu Movement came about. And then, you abbreviate it, Nyana, OTK movement, just for people to remember, just to keep the rhythm going. And then, like, like, gonna rhythm.
Yes.
And then, what used to get me and what is really like hitting me hard is that people like confine you into boxes and styles.
Okay.
And they used to ask me, Kaya, what's your forte? What's your strength? What do you do? And I was just like, guys, I'm so versatile because I have ballet, I have contemporary, I have African, I have flamenco, I have so much.
Multi
And I sing and I do this. Like, how do I confine myself now to one genre that I do, maybe hip hop? I'm not.
Yeah.
So when I said the movement architect, I looked at the language of architecture, and there are people that construct buildings that can hold down a good foundation and level up.
Yes.
So I am a person that comes from a strong foundation and is able to house in a lot of talents or genres that can give an upward trajectory. That is why my name is Khayalethu Movement.
Okay.
Khayalethu Movement, the home of movement. Khayalethu Ndlovu, the home of wisdom.
You are very intentional in what you do, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Because while you're explaining this, it's so intentional. Like you're like, you don't want to get into the industry and then they box you. Then you go with the hype. Then you don't become who you're supposed to
Like
be.
you don't just want to be a ballet dancer. You're like,
Yes.
I'm going to be in all forms,
Yeah.
everything, everywhere.
Yeah.
That's so intentional. And a lot of artists are not intentional in what they do. They go with the hype, then they lose themselves.
Yep.
Then in the middle of everything, they feel like batagati.
I got attacked.
I got attacked.
You know,
Yes.
because we are not intentional
Yeah.
as artists. So where do you get this intent? Because as a woman, I feel like in each and everything that we do, not just as artists, but as women, where do you get this intention, this intent that will help other women who are artists who are listening and they'll be like, hey, how do I do this?
I get it from my gran.
Mm.
And to be honest, I only had a few years with my gran. She named me.
Okay.
And my gran was one woman that she'll show you hierarchy of love.
Okay.
And I think it was genuine to show that when you reach this level of maturity or age, there's a different connection you'll have with me.
Yeah.
So I was still that young rebel, and she's like, oh, Kai, busy. Kai's gonna be busy, guys. She's gonna be very busy. Just busy. In photos, I'm like,
Yes, you're the blurred one.
yeah, where can we find ourselves moving?
You see a hand.
So where was she going? No, she was coming in.
If I had to show you some baby pictures before you would have finished, because I even had a crop top with a little pond on.
What's that?
And my grand's like, just her presence was distinct. Like she knew I was present. I'm your gran.
Yes.
And then she gave birth to 3 girls and 2 guys, which being my mom.
Yes.
And my mom was also intentional. She's like, I might not have everything, but I'll be intentional.
Yes.
And with intentional, you gain respect.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I got it from. And it became more riper as I aged. Because, guys, dreams are real. At one time I saw my grand with a fro. She was looking fresh. She was looking fresh. And she looked at me and she was like, I don't know, I can't share what she said, but in that, it was an agreement of, you are right, do it. Because you've got women around you.
Yes.
And it's scary sometimes because you're like, wait, me, how? I'm not a speaker.
Yes.
And now that touches on a point of why I'm also so intentional. When I was growing up, I had too many gaps for people to point my faults. And I was like, never again. Not on my terms, because maybe I wasn't directed like this, or my birth wasn't, or rate wasn't as fast as the next person. I was like, nah, let's be intentional. Let's limit gaps.
All right. So when you talk about people just, criticizing who you are, how important is it as an artist that you are confident within yourself and what you're doing and where you're going, like where you want to go, where you want to land up,
Yeah.
instead of being told? Because I mean, we know that you go to varsity and then you're told, Uguti, oh, okay, oh, Kaya can kick her leg up there, she can pirouette nicely, she can jete, you're just a ballerina. How important is it for you to be able to say, actually, no, I'm not, yes, I'm here to study, or yes, I'm here to do whatever, or at home be told that I finally le, but you know you've got the ability, you just need to practice. How important is it for you to know, and for other people to just know when you're criticized and when at Gazinlako you know what you know, how do you stand up for yourself?
Oh, that's a good one. No, I mean, I had to learn life backwards. I wish I could say when I was young, I could have done this and say, I'm enough. That's what I live by. I always say I'm enough. Wherever I'm in a space, I'm enough. And if that was instilled in my life at a very young age without being criticized for little small things, because when you get criticized, that breaks you, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then I learned the hard way. I took criticism. I was like, okay, cool. If I'm being criticized, I'm being noticed. Change of perspective. So, baby step number 1.
Please repeat that.
Yes, I'm gonna go into maybe number 3. Sure. Number 1 for me is when you're raising someone's young, change their perspective. Make them have a different outlook. Then once you've changed your perspective, you start to work well in your time frame.
Yeah.
And sadly, I'm not also those artists that used to be like disciplined and everything. Guys, I was a rebel. Everyone knows sometimes I can be late.
Yeah.
And it was not nice image to have. But what I used in that time was, okay, you can, now you're looking at me. How do I maximize? I'm a maximize woman.
Yes.
Maximize your time. Next thing, that's very important. Maximize
your time.
And then lastly, once you've maximized it, say it, you're enough.
I hope you're writing, ne? Lap.
Yeah, jot this down. Jot this down.
Words of wisdom, please.
You're enough.
I'm sitting here in awe. Like, yeah, just you're enough, and you are enough, and you are enough. So, now when we're talking about your business,
Yes.
How important is it for branding, to brand yourself? Does that help you in the steps that you want to take? Or like, I mean, you know, we dance, we sing, we do this, we do that, and in this industry, especially of live performance, we don't see branding as major as television personalities would. How important is it for us to brand ourselves? Like, why brand yourself, even though you are just a live performer and you know, I'm not going to be on TV, they're not going to, you know, I'll get an interview for the show, but I'm not a personality. How important is it for us to have personalities and branding?
Branding and personality. So with branding, let me just touch on that. One thing I'm still learning.
Okay.
You're already a brand in entertainment. If you don't understand that you already are a brand, you're already labeled as something.
Okay.
And that boils down back to like intentional. If you some people have chosen to see themselves as they have to wait for an opportunity to just dance, sing, be there. And you know what? It's okay because we need those people to function. But there's next people that need to realize that there's more to that.
Yes.
And with that, it allows them to branch out into choreography, teaching, mentoring, because then people are able to see different channels. And that's where branding enhances it and opens up gates that wouldn't have been open. So with branding, your intention is to open up other avenues or other industries that wouldn't be exposed to it. Mm-hmm. That's where I fall into that thing when I realize how I can utilize it, because I feel like people don't understand the arts. People utilize it as a quick change or a hype, but it's actually a culture.
Yes.
And with culture, it also should be respected.
Yes.
You know, and if you want to evolve it, then do it smart, research, make sure you don't have gaps.
Right.
You know? And then when you talk about, I think we were talking about it's branding and then
and personality.
Personality. Yeah, you know, with the personality, it's a journey. It's a big journey because we're as artists, I must say, we are vulnerable people. We put
Yeah.
ourselves in places where we constantly judged and constantly stretched beyond our own limit and then left to find ourselves.
Yes.
And that is why we have so many like detrimental ills in our community.
Mm.
Exactly.
So to maintain personality, you really need to be grounded. That's the only truth I can give you. And groundedness comes out of art. Art is it's like fame.
Yeah.
Art is it's like a spiritual place. Art is something that's beyond the flesh. And if you cannot find a place that can house the temple,
Yes.
trust and believe it is detrimental to you.
You speak about foundation. I love how you speak about foundation because as artists, you repeat this a lot about hype.
Yeah.
If your foundation is not strong, when fame comes, you lose yourself. Art is spiritual. As a spiritual being, how do you connect yourself? Do you feel your art and spirituality is separate or is it one to you? How do you connect them to give you exactly what you're supposed to give to the human race?
I had to. I'm one person that I don't believe everything has to start as one. It must start separate to become one. So I took it separately because there's certain things in the industry that would question my spiritual side, and there's certain things in the spiritual side that would question my opportunity in the industry.
Yes.
You know, so it's understanding those two languages and their barriers, and then you work towards mending it. And then I won't lie, the power of mending the spiritual side with the physical side and the artist side is amazing because I can say everywhere I go, God is present.
Yeah.
And I can proudly say that because I am a descendant of his good word and good love, and I've seen his work through me and what it can do for other people. So I only want to be a vessel.
Babes, you were named after one of the greats in the Bible, Esther, Queen Esther.
AKA.
Hey, Lalela. So you are of God. You are a descendant.
No, you really
Trust.
are. So with all of that, when it comes to just also like the branding and your idea of now having your own business, K movement,
Yes.
right? Is how did that come about? Did that come from like a place of struggle? I need to do this, or did it come from a place of passion to be like, you know what, it's not enough for me to just dance. I want to inspire, I want to motivate, I want to teach, I want to spread my seed of this talent that you've been given. How did that come about?
You're right to say I did hit the roof. I came a point in my life. I traveled. I won't forget. I was in Netherlands. I know actually I was in France. I was in Paris for a month, and it was cold. And I actually thought I'll never hit an automatic point in my life where you just
Yeah.
perform in J,
Yes.
and it hit me. And that's I
Dangerous.
cried.
It's a sad place to be
I
in. eh?
cried, and I was like, that's actually uncontrollable. But it's good that it happened because this is my comfort zone. Put me on stage, I'll give you a story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That is what I do with my body. And then the hard part was letting go. Why comfort? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be financially challenged. When I get home, am I going to find opportunities that are going to pay the way I've been sustaining my life? Next thing, also in the art industry, people are very private and they don't want to share. And it's scary.
What is that?
Why?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Why do we do that?
I don't associate people.
Because that's fun.
It doesn't make
fun.
sense.
It doesn't make
It
sense.
doesn't. It really, really, really doesn't. But I lost my train of thought.
No. You were saying that you found yourself you're in Paris,
Yes.
cold.
And that place, that's when I hit my roof. And then I prayed, and that's when I realized I must come home and teach. That shook me because I'm like, now how do I speak a language that I was never a speaker? So dance was my place of comfort. Now I have to speak it to kids
Yes.
that come from the same place that I came from. How do I do it intentionally, making sure? Because when they leave, they're gonna leave with my word. You know, that responsibility
Yeah.
is bigger. That's why I look at teachers and I go, you don't just take teaching because it fills your pocket. You must understand
calling.
you have
Yeah.
kids. That's your responsibility. If a job closes on them, it's your fault.
You know, I think some of the greatest teachings that I've had was when I was 4 years old, when I was a little child. Those seeds that were planted in me when I was a child by my teachers, by my grandmother, by everybody, my community. Those are the seeds that make me who I am today. So if those seeds that are not they are not planted correctly by the correct people, I am growing up to be this tree that will not bear
Perish.
leaves.
It will perish, and you wonder why there's so many cases of kids letting go and doing this. So then that transition happened teaching. Then with teaching, it really advanced the language of choreography, because people think once you're a performer, you're a choreographer. No, it's
Yes.
a different mind state, a different you apply yourself differently. And I've learned this from two great choreographers, being Upumi Skakana and Utami Shabalala. And then we were homed and housed by Kelsey Middleton, who actually taught us the business, the technicality that comes with the art form. And then that's how I understood, okay, branding comes in different levels. So as a performer, you understand what it is to be on stage and to sell the brand.
Yes.
As a teacher, you understand how to speak the brand. As a choreographer, you understand how to house it and duplicate and bring more service and job opportunities for the brand. So, and that is what made me drift it, because I'm like, at the end of the day, I want to be an icon or a legend. I want my name to be in the books of I changed Africa.
Yeah.
I don't want to say change South Africa. It's Africa. Where
Africa.
Africa is seen for diversity but in richness, where it's not only guided to what the public wants and going back to hype, that we respect every channel. Guys, we have 11 official languages and other countries have 27 to this. Do you understand the diversity we have? But we are forced to now contain ourselves. Never.
So with that being said, now the show here, the purpose is to motivate and inspire, and to have people who have talented family members who probably want to branch into something else because of the fear of the stigma of this industry. Ukuthi siyalamba, ne? Ukuthi awunoyang dawo, ne? What would you say to those, like you said, like we've got so much talent. There's a lot of talent. I was even saying ukubaliza ukuthi, uzobona ingane ijiva, ne? And yivosho, piano, and parents just look and go, it's just a booty shaking thing. But you're not looking beyond Tandizinto, but you're not looking beyond Tandizinto. You're not looking at the footwork of this child, the body language they give you when they are
The character.
the character that they are giving you. What do you say to those parents who are, because hopefully we have like people who are just having kids that are watching this, who have children, who have family members that are talented. What would you say to just bring down their fears a bit and to just allow it to be like, inspire those people, look at them, take their craft, hone it, and do something about it?
One thing I could say, and something I said to my parents of recent, if you don't know, ungayivali, funda, tell. And with parents, there's no excuse, because they come from a system of reading. Ukufunda, i-radio, khona. Or like there's a lot of channels out there to teach you about art. Vele, I understand TV is the main source, but radio, books, newspapers, yes, some things are twisted, but ask. Before you close the door, ask.
Yes, because you're such a multi, like you do all kinds of dances. You literally, like, your body.
Kali's gupu lapho.
Kali, she's on
piano.
the
You're on your toes.
And you talk about technicality, you talk about your education part in it, you talk about the way it opened up your mind. I mean, you even went international with it. So I mean, this must be something that people can actually make a living out of, and instead of being scared ukuthi hayi yo jive nje bese when she's old she's got nothing. But that's really just up to you, right?
Yeah.
To like prepare your future.
Yes.
Right, from what you are doing, because yes, before eqaleni, because of just the way things were, people would be, oh, you're a talent, come here, use you. When you're done, finished, boom,
Exploitation.
Exploitation. Then people pass away, they die, and in Africa, burial is a big thing. Burial is a big thing, where it's like, you've you've had to have the money, and now because
Ushonongana
abantu
next.
bashona bangana next, that's where parents are so scared to allow their children or anybody else in their families to be a part of, like doing something you love, and then you end up doing something you don't, and
And
then
you be sour.
you be sour, and
You know, with what you're saying, sorry to interject.
no.
I always say, learn. Like, guys,
Yes.
the world is a university, it's a library, and people are the books. Learn. That's the only way to sustain yourself. I'm grateful for my mom. Guys, my mom didn't want this to happen. She was skeptical, she was scared. But she's like, okay, you want to dance? Because from high school, I was chosen to go to Lion King.
Girl.
And but think about it, at that age, I'm still young. I don't understand the world. They're giving me a 5-year contract. Find your own
Honorable.
plate. I'm like, as I'm going to London, I'm gonna next me, na? How am I gonna come
Yes.
out? And then you look at I always say, don't get excited what you see now. Look at the long term. And if it cannot sustain you, don't even take it.
Right?
Don't even take it.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Kaya, you said people in the industry don't want to talk. So abantu abadala, when they bafuna ukufunda, who's gonna teach them?
That's the thing. It starts with the people that know that there's a problem. I always say, don't speak it if you can't do it.
Yes.
That's why I am grateful to be at every platform I go to. I always say, shake up the place, girl. Shake it up.
Shake it up.
Shake it up. If people are not shaken by you, then you're not serving.
Go
the
the
purpose.
core.
Yeah, it must shake. Yeah, it must go. Okay, posture must be right.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, I'm not ready, but I'm here. I'm great.
Yes.
Now that's your power. The rest is up to you. I get scared sometimes at half the places I go to. Like this morning.
Yeah.
The class I went to taught by Debbie Rukusen at the Move Theatre studios.
Yes.
And these young kids are killing it. And I'm so happy to see what they're gonna bring. And I want them to come with power and challenge.
I just got goosebumps.
But then I got goosebumps and my armpits were wet at that time also because I'm like, yo, Kaya, your body, don't forget, girl, you're turning 30. I don't know if you're locking. I'm locking. But one thing I did, I stood there and I'm like, Kaya, there's no competition. You're here because you are hungry the way they are hungry.
Yes.
And you are learning what needs to happen and change. And they need to also see
Exactly.
how and why these cultures or these people are sustaining this thing.
Yes.
So yeah.
You used to say something back in varsity. I don't know if you were conscious about that.
Yeah, I said a lot of things, man.
It's just one word during bodycon.
Yeah.
You'd always go, persevere.
Yeah.
You would scream, persevere. It's stuck to me till this day. Where do you get that
Oh,
from?
yes, you guys went to varsity together.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Where did I get it from?
Yeah.
No. It was from all those ballet teachers that told me I'll never make it. Yo,
How savage is that?
Sure.
it's savage.
Why must it be like that when now it comes to a different skin color?
There was not a lot of representation that was strong to say I am melanin and what I have can still execute. It just needs a better understanding or someone that is
Yeah.
and understands where we come from.
Yeah.
Body structure.
We didn't have. I didn't as a black woman. I didn't have references. The only one I did was Kitty, Mamela, Lorna, Dada.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I had. But also at that time, they had to also bend and fold. But the beauty about it, they sustained themselves. But it's hard now to say there's not a lot of women like that anymore. Even women now, like there's a lot of males, gay males, but where are the women at?
Yeah.
Where are they?
What are they afraid of?
I think they're tired. People are tired. And that's what I'm saying. That push and perseverance. That thing of I refuse to allow someone else's opinion to question God's gift in me.
Yeah.
I just can't. I just can't allow it. I always say then why?
Yes.
Tell me why so I don't close the door to you.
Tell me why.
Sure.
Labana, why girl?
Yeah. Pila na kula na.
Why not? If not, why not?
I know.
You know, I mean, wow, you're giving me so much to think about. I mean, like you just said, straight after matric, you went to Lion King.
I got accepted. And then at that point, that's when my mom was like, babes, TUT, education improved to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I had to fight. And yeah.
So you went.
I didn't do the normal procedure for auditioning.
Yes.
High school audition on the day the school started. I got accepted. Same thing for university because I never knew where I was supposed to be. But my dad will always be at every audition, be like, "Okay, I know when you come out, you made it." That's all I remember.
So he's always been a point of reference.
Yeah, it's like, baby girl, when you go in there, just know you made it.
So you made it.
Like he told me, you are already complete before you enter.
Yeah.
You know, my mom always says this to us.
Beautiful.
Right. Can we have that in South Africa?
Oh, you
You're complete. My mom told us that. It's like, before I leave, I'm the chosen. I'm God's favorite. She was like, I'm God's favorite. I'm
Yes.
the chosen one. I'm a winner. No one. And she's like,
Imagine growing up with that from
very young
such a
age.
tender age and believing it. But also you believed it, and then also at the same time it was like you still stayed humble. You still walked humble grounds instead of walking like, because you also just said, Uguti, why do we as artists not want to share what we know? Why do we keep it away from each other? It's because some people weren't told that you are before you know it, you're complete.
Yeah.
It's because people weren't told, Uguti, you are a favorite.
So you
know?
feel like bringing somebody down will bring
Yes.
you up.
Or you feel like holding whatever you have that's working for you, because nobody can steal anything from you. I can't steal who you are and your talent. I've got my own, but if we share, we make each other stronger.
Yes.
How beautiful is that?
Because I take from your strength.
Yes, I take from your strength and I take from your support, and I know I've got backup. You know, instead of walking alone. So I want to ask you, when you got into Lion King and then your mom said to you, you must go and study.
Yeah.
Me, I also high school, and I got an agent saw me and said, listen, come join us. Not at your scale, like now you're going to London and you know, but same but different, you know, where you leaving high school and you're not going to tertiary level, now you're going in to go and work. You're going into the industry. It's a job, you know. When your mom said that, was there a jarring feeling for you? Were you like,
Most definitely.
oh no, I don't want to do it, just let me flourish and let me go? And I was that child. I was stubborn. I was like, I'm here, I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to go and study. I know what I want, and this is what I've always wanted. And for it to happen the way it did for me was like, he sees me, you know. And for you, what would you say? Would you say whether you studied or not, would it have gone the same way?
I don't know, but I can disagree because I think I've seen. That's the beauty about that. I'm not only aware of myself, but I'm aware of other people around me.
Yeah.
And I always believe God will never put people around me just for enjoy. He shows you that you can become this if you didn't do it, or you can become this because you did it.
Yeah.
And I've seen people that only survived on their skill, their way out. They don't understand the power of the mind. We don't live in our body, we live here in our thoughts. And that is what sustained.
Yeah.
I did,
Bala, guys.
I did have a jarring thing. It brought the worst friction and separation between my mom. That's when I think it hurts to say the connection to women was lost by the time me and my mom never had that understanding.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I was saying to a good friend of mine that it's weird that I'm for women because I was against them
Yeah.
because I never felt loved by one.
Yes.
So I looked at everyone else, said, okay, now I'm not the shape of it or the personality or whatever. And then another point hit me when life was like, yay, what's your purpose?
What is your
And who
purpose?
can you relate to and who can
Yes.
understand you? And it was women, people that I felt that never understood me.
Yeah.
So
The ones you were trying to run away from.
that's the one that I need.
So with that, like, the importance to study, how do you rate it, and is it worth it? Because you know, abazali will say, "Hey, ufuna ukuyodansa, hamba udansa le estradeni," or you know, and some parents don't want to cough up that money for their children. They'd rather then control them and say, well, I don't want to spend money on you going to learn musical theater or dance, or you know,
It's a music.
yeah, it's a music, but you sing here all the time. You know, like looking down upon it. Like, what would you say to those grown folk out there who are listening, who have children that are coming up and maybe, you know, have the talent and, you know, going to school and actually just like allowing that to happen? Also just thinking that you can pay for that degree and then allow for another degree to come along to say you want to, you know, do marketing or law, because, you know, we can have law within the industry. What
Yes.
do you say to parents who just don't wanna?
I say with parents that don't wanna, you can't change a parent's mind. I think you can come with a better alternative. I always say, like I say to my nieces, because she's a platinum girl. Guys, do you guys know about a level called platinum?
Yeah, go guys.
Let's go learn platinum.
Yeah.
But you're not the platinum girl.
We've got platinum.
The platinum family.
Never
This.
And there's one thing I taught her. I'm like, your brother, my brother, your father will say no, but bring a better option. They don't ever take the first no.
Yeah.
The first no just means bringing a better option.
Mm.
If it's like the third no, then it means no, you're just talking rubbish now. You know?
Yeah.
But I really believe in education. Parents, one thing you must be grateful for, there are institutions out there for the arts, but you need to research on them. And the beauty, if you don't want to send your kids to an institution, you feel like, okay, it's not worth for my financial investment, I believe find something that can connect them in the creative field. Being if I'm a creative marketer or director and everything. So on the side, the one that wants to be in the creative field needs to look for institutions that give classes or programs online so that they're not hindered to the fact that because I'm in the institution or I'm not, I can't grow. So I say it's a both way thing. You
Yeah.
have no excuse to blame your parent now. Before maybe you could, but now you can't. There's so many opportunities that are open to people. Open classes, workshops, you know.
Yes,
So and the
exactly.
internet socials tells you about it. But for parents is to know, okay, if I'm going to send you to university, I'm going to meet you halfway to find an economical study that can benefit the creative.
Yeah.
Because there is a gap for that.
Do you think our entertainment industry, our creative industry, does it have a good look? Because when our parents, as we said, they look at the entertainment
It's got a
industry.
tricky look.
Goed tricky, man. Goed tricky. When our parents look, honestly, you're like,
I want to look, but
yeah, like when our parents look like, ooh, I don't think my child should go there. What do you think we can do as artists to change that look of the creative industry?
ask the artist, do you want to change? Next, how are you going to change?
Yeah.
And start with yourself. Don't go because this system or another person is not doing it, I can't change. No. Italangaw. Guys, you don't have to have capital or a lot of things to make things happen. I'm one vessel to say I've worked on my own capital, I've worked on my own strength. And why?
Yes.
It's two hands. I've had nothing, but I've had a voice. That is power. You see a mistake, you see a gap, fill it. Don't give it to someone else. I always say don't give a responsibility to someone else if you see the problem. Because they won't see it the same way
Yeah.
you see it. And it's gonna give you opportunity to go, no, you're hitting it wrong. Or then it goes, what are you doing about it?
Melissa,
Sure.
what's the theme question?
How do you build a sustainable career as a multi-talented artist?
And your answer was connect in spaces that will enhance your skill and push boundaries. What do you mean by that?
Don't confine yourself to one thing. So people go, oh, Kaya's a dancer. But no, Kaya goes to acting classes, singing classes, drawing classes, business classes. I'm there.
There's
How,
time.
how do I amp this movement? Because people go, how are you going to rise to fame? Each dance step. All the way up, sing, dance, act. And I feel like it was worth it. Why?
Yeah.
Art lives longer than words.
Yes.
It does. Art lives longer. The room is going to be blue for another 10 to 20 years. That's one guy's idea.
Yeah.
I want to be that person.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Wow, like just do it all.
Yes.
Do it. I think I learned that in
Oh, wait.
during this COVID.
Do it all. But respect each field you do. Don't ever think that because maybe you're not being accepted, they don't like you. No.
Yes.
Respect the field.
Okay.
Don't forget that. Because we always
Yeah.
say, do it all. We always leave the people in the praise. But we never go, but also watch out for this.
Yes.
Mm.
And also when you wanna do it all and you leave where you're from, leave clean. Don't burn the bridges. Don't be like, okay, well, I'm done here. I'm okay, I'm done. I'm out. Bye. Like you couldn't have just left Paris at that moment where you were just like and then just been like, okay, peace out, fingers up, deuces, and then be like, I'm gonna teach. Meantime, umoshile move up, because we always have to look back, right?
Yes.
We always have to look back. So you say do it all. I learned that during this COVID.
Yes.
I learned
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
like, wow, I gotta put all fingers.
Oh.
all fingers in each.
Yeah.
Like if
It's
there's
like
10 pies.
baking.
Yes.
It's like I love, and I think what's this? Guys,
Mm.
I love cooking.
Yeah.
I have a heart for. I think Lorna said it one time. She's like, I think I love cooking because we couldn't eat a lot, and I had a connection because I was like, we have to starve ourselves sometimes. Eat soup, and that's tuna. That was high class. And then when you cook, and it's like baking. That's your body.
Yeah.
It's like you're molding it, and when you understand the fact that you need to put it all in to make it happen, you're winning, babes.
Sure. Yo, one thing I learned during COVID, when I locked down, haha, la guys, you had to step out of your comfort zone.
No, you had to.
One thing I learned is that we become so comfortable with who the world says we are.
Yeah.
We become so comfortable, and that is our standing point. How do you tell a person who has been told by teachers and people around, and they're like, you're so great, like stay there? How do you tell a person to be like, you can't do one thing? God didn't create you for that one thing. Step out, leave that comfort zone, because it's holding you back. Maybe that one thing you think is yours, it's actually there to teach you a lesson. How do you tell somebody like that in order for you to build a sustainable career, you need to be versatile? Yes, take care of all of the things that you're doing,
Yeah.
but get out of the comfort zone. How do you get out? How do you tell a person who's been in the comfort zone for so long to step out?
You are the narrator. Have you ever seen a book that's written by yourself, and then if you don't write, it's like an exam. You have that creator's block, and you're like, my name, Pell. That's what you do to your life. Let's put it in image.
Image, yes. You didn't study. You
just see lines.
You didn't see the time. You didn't put in the time.
It's on you.
The only thing you know is
name.
I mean, pen.
And the dates.
And then you
That's what you remember.
then you just know your government status. That's all in the green book.
Sure.
Okay?
You're the narrator. I never understood the power of that.
Yo.
You hold the pen. You. I wake up. I could have come and be so like, I'm tired. No. Yeah. So it's an opportunity. Understand? Yo, can I just give you an example? I learned one big thing like a week ago. And it was a very tough time at that moment, because I was in a cross line of I want this opportunity, but I'm not getting it the way I thought I would get it. It made me wait 5 hours. I can be angry waiting 5 hours. Like you can imagine the irritation that comes with it.
Sure.
But then I changed my perspective. Okay, you hear 5 hours. What's your outlook to it? Actually, I'm now in the room. I'm not knocking. That means something. Okay, now the reception's talking to me. Babes, she's gonna remember my face. Opportunity. Aha! Make yourself present in that room. Second thing. And then now you go, I'm now good. I'm enough. I can leave and go. As the other day, that was on Kumbula, because I sat on this couch. This bottom has felt the leather. I even had coffee with 2 biscuits.
Oh man, when they say beauty with brains, that's what you are. That is what you are. Oh my God, this has been.
We even forgot our sweets, bro. Like,
I'm just like, I just wanted to keep talking and keep going. I just wanted to have this conversation forever.
sure.
So for the last of our so beautiful conversation,
Amazing.
right?
Divine.
You're just open. You're like an open book. You don't have anything to hide there. Like, it's rare. It's rare for artist upon artist for us to be so vulnerable and so open and honest, and not because of a platform, not because we are in the studio, but I mean, when you walk through the door, I've heard about you.
Yeah.
I've seen you.
Yeah.
I don't think we've shaken hands or spoken before, but you came in and you were just like, and I was like, yeah, she's my kind. She's my kind. She didn't come in here and be like, oh my God, can I have my coffee? I've been driving. Can I just get 5 minutes? Can I just breathe? Can I just? I was just like, my girl came in and she was like, Coco, and
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And oh man, the words that come out of your mouth, that process in your brain and that come out, it's just like,
Thank you.
You're a gem.
You are. And I for me, that is like true artist.
Amen.
Like you speak like one and you walk like one, and you know your life and your the bio that you sent me just speaks it. It just says, yo,
I am light.
yo, I've been sleeping on myself.
Don't sleep, y'all. Don't sleep.
But we can't compare ourselves to other people. But your journey has been amazing. I mean, like I read and I can visualize it. I can see you doing the things. I can just be like, yes, okay. I can see you in Paris going, I don't know. And that snow trickling on your nose. And you're just like,
It's a bit cold with me,
just for the last of this, what would you say to those people who were once us and left because it got hard, or left because they ran out, or left because they were once in Paris and it was cold and they cried because they were like, this cannot be it. Yeah. And what would you say to those parents or, you know, guardians, whoever, or that individual who is like, I wanna, but I'm scared. I'd rather have a steady income because there seems to not be one in this industry. What would you say to them to encourage them and say, go for your dream and live and, you know, keep going, challenge yourself, stay, be who you are meant to be, use your God-given talent and hone it and train it? What would you say to those people?
To those that felt challenged, it's okay. But your purpose was meant to be in the creative. And it might not be the way you thought it would be. But please use your platform and make our journey a little bit better, because now you understand this. So I have friends that went into business, real estate, and I always say, like, if there's an opportunity in land-wise, help us. If there's an opportunity in like access and education, help us.
Yes.
You know, your service to what you love is never dead. As we go, you are the narrator, you know. And to the parents, learn. Like, don't stop learning. And my parents, my mom, my dad, like, they're like in their 60s, yo, and they look fine. They look fine.
Yes,
And I look at them and they taught me service. Like, learn, parents. Don't be in your fears, because don't project your fears upon the next person, because you can be stopping the next breakthrough for the nation.
Exactly.
And if you become the hindrance, then trust and believe unkulunkulu or whatever you believe in will hinder your truth. You know, life is like a tennis match, and life has a rhythm. And if you stop someone's rhythm, it's sore to your ear. So you can imagine what you're doing to another generation.
Exactly.
So yeah, like I look at both and I say, you are the narrator and you have a choice to amplify and fix and learn. And if you don't, please step away. Like it's okay.
Well,
Kaya.
Ndlovu drops mic.
Aye.
Even though we know that's rude, but we drops mic because no, it's been a pleasure. And it's been great having you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
through
you. Thank
and
you.
speaking words and pearls of wisdom. We thank your grand for that too.
And feeding us.
And feeding us.
Fueling
yes,
us.
and with such like strong, powerful words, and everything you said out of your mouth, just I believe it. Nina, I believe you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
But I don't think there's anybody who can not believe you after that. It's been such a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Yabong.
Guys, it's a wrap. Sally, any last words for the week?
Just remember you were created to be someone.
And any words from you for our listener for the week?
Live. You're enough. And like, never stop. You are, please remember this. You're the salt in the world. You bring flavor. You are seasoned. Ungakhohlwa.
Sure. Guys, yes, that's it from us. The show goes on with Noni. Thank you for tuning in with your girl, Nontantam Konto, Spear of the Nation. I like to say that. It just boosts me up. Just let you know, I'm Konto Kon. Let you know.
And your girl, Palisa Robin.
And we're out of here. Ciao, Bella.
There are so many demands on you. Demands at home, in the boardroom, and in the bedroom. You have to be jack of all trades, wearing a different hat when the moment arises. You're on all the time, always on the clock, always catching up. Take care of you.